Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. So for today's video I'm going to be attempting to film a bullet journal video. So I purchased a Lechtem, however you say it, bullet journal back in 2019 and I just never started it. But I thought now would be the perfect time to actually start bullet journaling. Seeing as we're all in quarantine, we're all at home, I thought I might as well give it a go and see what happens. So it's not going to be the most creative or artistic bullet journal you've ever seen on the internet, but I'll give it a go, see what happens. It might be a complete fail and you might all be laughing at me by the end of this video, but it'll be a bit of fun if that happens anyway. So I hope you'll stick around to the end, see what happens. So obviously we're in May, so I've had to start the journal from May. I have started to do the first few pages, like your future log, them kind of things, just so I have that before I start my monthlies. And then I'll go into starting my May spreads. So like I said, it's not going to be very creative. So I bought a pack of these watercolour liners from Amazon last year and I've never used them. So we'll see how I get on with these. If they don't work and I can't do all that fancy like calligraphy handwriting stuff, I'll just have to use them as felt tips. I guess all there is to do now is to start the video. For my bullet journal, I've chosen the Lechtem 1917 dotted notebook in this blue colour. I'll link it below in case you wanted to look at the one I've bought. I got mine from Amazon. I started to use the watercolour pens, but they weren't very good at all, so I skipped those and went on to using some Sharpies. So I've just drawn 2020 in bubble writing, which is kind of the only style of writing I'm able to do. Obviously those art classes in primary school came in handy, and I've just coloured in each letter with a different colour. I've then gone round in a black Sharpie just to make them stand out a bit more, and gone round the 2020 in different colours as well to make them stand out. The pen's actually bled through really badly onto the back, so I skipped the next page and went on to writing my key. Next was my future log, so again I've used bubble writing for the main title, and then I've just written each month of the year down in these boxes and highlighted each month in a different colour. These using the watercolour pens. My hand was really hurting by the end of this, so now I understand why people use those rubber stamps. So now I'm doing a savings log, and I've just drawn a pound sign, and every time I save £100 I'm going to colour one in. And this is my weight loss chart. There's 32 weeks left of the year, so each week I'm going to note down my weight loss. So I'm just rubbing out now all of the pencil marks, and you actually can't see it, so that's quite good because I was very heavy-handed with my pencil. So I'm now moving on to my Instagram tracker, whereas just where I'm going to track my Instagram followers for my two Instagram accounts. I've got @thelifeofpi_, which is the Instagram which will go alongside this channel, so please follow me over there if you want to. And then I also have the Life of Pi home account, which is where I will document my house renovation. So I'm in the middle of renovating a house right now, so if you are interested in that kind of content, please go and follow me over there as well. So each of these boxes is supposed to be a sort of a Polaroid. I know they kind of look more like little TVs hanging up on a washing line, but they are supposed to be Polaroid prints, so this was the height of my creativity whilst going through this video. So each time I hit a milestone, I'm just going to colour in the boxes, probably with coloured pencils because my pens really badly bleed through these paper. So that's what I'm going to be doing here. And then I'm just drawing these lines through which are supposed to look like they're holding up the Polaroids with little pegs. So then again I'm just drawing these lines to connect all of the Polaroid prints together. And then I'm just rubbing out all of the biro again. So my next spread is a YouTube subscriber and watch count tracker. So I've just written the YouTube word in bubble writing again and just gone around this in black biro. I haven't used any colour because my colours bleed through like I've mentioned. So if you have any recommendations for good colours I could use that don't bleed through these pages, please let me know down below, and I'll have to purchase some for my next month's journal. Even though I do like the black and white minimal look, I would kind of like to put a bit more colour in these pages just to make them a bit more interesting. So I've done a sort of bar chart layout for these two pages. So this one is going to be the subscribe account. So each month I'm just going to note the number of subscribers I have by the end of the month, just so I know if I'm still on track. And I'm writing 200, 400, 600, 800, etc. So it goes up in 200s. And this is probably a bit ambitious considering I'm such a small channel, but I would really love to grow my channel. So I guess you can never aim high enough, can you? So I'm then moving on to my watch hour count. So I've just got along the y-axis the number of hours, watch time I've accrued, and along the bottom is the months. So again, starting in May, going to December. Again, this is probably a bit ambitious because it's really difficult to get watch time on YouTube, but I'll see how I get on. So like I mentioned, I've got the hours going along the y-axis in increments of 200 hours. So here I'm just removing all of the pencil marks again with my rubber. This rubber is decreasing in size rapidly, so I definitely need to buy a bigger rubber next time. The next spread is my May spread, so we're finally onto the monthly spread. So I've tried to do sort of a hand calligraphy writing-esque title here, just by making the downstrokes a bit thicker. I don't really know if it's very effective, but I'm sure I'll be able to improve on this the more I try this kind of lettering. And I think it looks okay nonetheless. And then I'm just going around it with some circles. So I did try and pre-draw these, but it's really difficult to draw over pencil circles with biro. So I kind of freehanded it a bit. And then I drew these little, I'm going to say they're leaves, but they're kind of just decorations along each circle. Now I found this on Pinterest because I was trying to Google sort of cute, non-creative or artistic drawings you could do if you're not an artist. And that kind of came up. So I thought they looked quite good. And then I'm just going to do a little mini calendar down on the right hand side. So I've got the days of the week and then each date. And then again, I'm just drawing some circles around it and then decorating it with these leaf type design. And then once again, just removing all of the pencil lines with my rubber. So next up is my month view. So I've just written the days of the week along the top, and then I've got the calendar layout below. This took me absolutely ages to work out how many boxes I needed and how many little squares made up one big square, so I could make sure I had the correct number of days in the month. But I finally managed to work it out, even though it was very difficult. And then I'm just going back over the pencil marks to make sure that it stands out. I've then got a note section on the right hand side because I had a bit of empty space to use up. And I was going to do just this in a box, but I thought I might as well draw some lines so I can write in them, although I'm not sure how practical that'll be because they're quite small. And then I'm just going to try and make this page look a bit pretty by doing these leaf designs. I've got leaf borders and this thing up the top right, I don't know what you'd call that. So I'm just going to rub out all of my pencil marks again and then move on to my next two spreads. So this one is the video ideas spread, and then I've got a blog post ideas. So we also have a blog. It's The Life of Pi again. I'll leave the link down below if you want to have a look. I'm really trying to up my YouTube and blog / Instagram game. That's kind of the main idea behind my bullet journal. I kind of want somewhere where I can write all my ideas down and be really accountable for the kind of content I'm putting out. So that's kind of why I started my bullet journal in the first place. So I've got space for 7 videos on the left, and I've tried to do this handwriting kind of calligraphy, but this didn't work out very well at all. So I really need to practice that. So if you know where I can sort of practice trying to write the really amazing hand calligraphy that some people do, please let me know because I really want to do it. Because what I've drawn here is a bit diabolical, to be honest. So let's scrap that page quickly. So next is a habit tracker. I was going to try and do my hand calligraphy stuff here, but I gave up and went back to my trusty bubble writing because it's clearly all I can do. So I've written habits in bubble writing, and then I've got 4 boxes where I've written sort of a calendar. So I've got the days of the week and the dates, and then each box represents a different habit. So I'm just going over my pencil lines in my biro here. I'm crossing out the days of the week that are not being used, and this is my couch to 5k habit. So I'm trying to do this 3 times a week, so every time I do a habit I will just colour in the box. This one is YouTube videos, so every time I upload a YouTube video I'm going to colour in the box again to make sure I'm on track. And then this bottom left hand one is a Instagram tracker, so just noting down the days that I post on Instagram. And then likewise, this bottom one here is another Instagram tracker for my other account. So this is my home account, just to monitor the number of days I post on my home account. Because again, I really want to up the amount of posts I'm putting on those. So then finally we're moving on to the weekly spreads, I guess they're called. So really simply, I've just written 3 lines going across the page and just written the date and the day, and then I've underlined them twice. By this point I was getting a bit fed up of drawing and my hand was seriously cramping out, so I went for a really basic design. So finally I'm just going back over all of the titles, making the page look a bit more pretty by doing this leaf corner design that I've kind of had throughout the May spreads. So there we have it. So I'm just going to quickly give you a flip through of what I've done. So I've got my 2020 title page, I've then got my key, my future log, I then have a savings and weight loss tracker, I've got my Instagram tracker, I've got my YouTube tracker, I then have my May title page, my May calendar, my video and blog post idea pages, habits, and then the weekly spreads. So I hope you enjoyed this video and it wasn't too boring, and please consider subscribing to my channel, and I'll see you next time. Bye!